Okay, a lot of people have been asking lately on the boards, how do you make a sewn vine? Well, I understand that there's a lot of instruction out there for no-sew vines, and you can always make one of those, but some people just want something that's going to last longer, or maybe they just want it fluffier. So what I do, you want a minimum of 3 layers of fleece. You want to cut them at least 5 inches wide, okay? If you cut them any less than 5 inches, you're not going to have that much fluff here, okay? So 5 inches wide and as long as you want. This one's pretty long, maybe about 3 feet, okay? I like mine longer because I have large cages, so I like for my gliders to be able to crawl from the top to the bottom. I am going to, you're also going to need 2 little strips of fleece. You need them about a 1/2 inch wide, 2 inches long, and these will be sewn into the ends here and at the other end, just as a loop so that you can hang it. So you need 2 of those. Make sure that whenever you're cutting it, you're not cutting it the stretchy way. The stretchy way, you'll get, let me get a piece of fleece and show you. It was out of my trash can, so sorry if it has some fuzz on it. This is what your fleece is going to look like when you stretch it if it's the stretchy way. Okay? This is not what you want to happen, because if this is looped over and you have it in your cage, it's just going to stretch and twist around, and it's not going to be real comfortable, and if a glider gets their foot in there, it can twist and hurt them. Okay, so we want to have something that's really tight, it doesn't stretch, and it's going to be safer for your glider, okay? So cut it the other way. You'll see a little bit of stretch in there, but you won't see like the 2-inch stretch that you'll get on the other one. So we want 2 of those. Alright, and again, this is about 5 inches wide. You can go wider if you want it dangly. You can go thinner if you really want to. It'll be kind of floofy and smaller. This one will be pretty round, and it'll have a lot more body to it. 3 layers is the least we want to go. You can do 4 or 5 if your machine can handle it. My machine can, but all I had of a single color was this, so we're going with 3 this time. You're gonna want to double up one of these little strips, double it in half, and stick it in between 2 of your layers. Okay, make sure that your layers are all matching up, and make sure that it's about centered, so adjust it if you need to. Okay, and you can pin that in there. Now your fleece is going to crawl whenever you're sewing it, so we're not going to pin the other end yet because it's kind of worthless. It's just going to end up kind of jumbled at the end anyway. This end doesn't necessarily have to match up that well because one of the pieces or 2 of the pieces is going to be like a 1/2 inch longer to 1 inch longer, at least it is with my machine. So I don't worry about it. My machine holds it pretty tight, and when it's holding it, it'll stretch the fleece just a little bit as it's sewing it. So I'm not going to worry about it. What I'm going to do is sew all the way down in the middle. See where I pinned it? I'm going to sew it all the way from that edge, all the way down in the middle. Okay? So you just want basically 1 stitch, as tight as you can get it, all the way down this piece of fleece. You don't want to go wide. You don't want to use a zigzag stitch. You want it a straight stitch all the way down. Now let's see if I can get this thing back working. Okay. Your fleece is going to crawl when it's in this machine. So if you are if you're not familiar with sewing with fleece, just kind of keep your hands on the side. I like to hold my fingers in between the layers like this and guide it as the feed dogs pull it through. Okay, so that's kind of how we'll do this. I took my pin out because I have it in here. It's secure. I'm comfortable with it. If you're not comfortable with it, that's okay. We're going to start by stitching back to the edge. If you're already at the edge, that's okay. And then we're going to go forward and we're going to stitch all the way down. As we're getting to the end, we want to leave about 4 inches at the end, because see how it's not lining up right? Like I said, this one's a little bit longer than the rest of them. It's about 4 inches off. So I'm going to cut that straight. Oh, I don't have my good scissors, so this is going to stink. Hold on. Oh, okay. There we go. I'll get under here and cut this off straight. Cut it even, so that it looks like we meant to do that. Throw that out and take your second loop and stick it in there between 2 of the layers, and that'll be the end. So you're going to want to put it right in the middle, and then we're going to sew over that, back stitch over it, and then we're done sewing. Now cut your thread as close as you can get it to your fleece without cutting your fleece. Okay? On both ends. Make sure that you do both ends. Make sure that you've taken any pins or anything out that you use to stabilize your material. I don't suggest using pins on the long part just because it's kind of worthless. Because as you saw, it does crawl a little bit, and it just ends up making little bunchies in your fleece. So here we have it. It's all sewn down the middle, as you can see, right down the middle. And whenever you're doing this, you're top stitching, but it's in the fleece so far that you can't even see what color I use. See how you can't see any white here? I used white thread here, and this is a dark green fleece. Now you can't see any white anywhere. So this means that it's pretty much safe. You're not going to get any toes caught, right? Okay. Now what we're going to do is, if you just have hand scissors, you're going to cut about every 1/2 inch all the way into that line. And you're going to do it on both sides. Okay? So you can see the line that's stitched, and we're going to cut all the way into there. Now, don't cut like completely through, because then the end will fall off, okay? If you have a rotary tool, you can get your rotary mat out and get your rotary tool, and you can cut a lot easier and a lot faster like this. You just take your rotary tool. I start at the inside and go outside. There we go, like that. You start at the inside and you work it out, okay? Because if you start on the outside and you work it in, sometimes you'll slip and you'll just go right through the middle of it. I've done it a million times because I work too fast. So just go all the way down one side, all the way down the other side. And as you can see, when you pick it up, you can fluff it out and it looks like a vine. I'm not going to finish it because I have a really long vine here, and it'll just take up time, and you can see it right here. So there you go. All you do is put in your hanger here, whatever you're using to hang your stuff, your lanyard clip, your C-link, baby links, what have you. Stick it in there and hang it on your cage, and you're ready to rock. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email address is amanda@flyingmarsupial.com. You can catch me on Glider Central. My username is Amanda1981. Or on any of my various websites. I'm sure you can find me. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.